Hi everybody, I'm Scott Benz, and I'm making this video. I've shared some of these ideas with people, and a few times I've been asked to come to the Wissota annual banquet, and but my schedule doesn't allow me to, so like in business, I had the idea I'd just do a quick video, share it with a few people, but people thought I should pass this on, so here's my way of passing it on what I think Wissota should do to become a better organization. The first three things Wissota really needs to do is they need to do some things that cater to the hardcore, cater to racing fans, which they don't do very well. They need to do some things that cater to the racer, and they need to do some things that cater to the promoters. And currently, the website for Wissota is of no use to anyone really. And what needs to happen is Wissota needs to kind of totally change how they go about marketing themselves. Number one, they need to get rid of all the dirt magazine. And I realize it's a great magazine and it's served its purpose, but the news needs to get onto the Wissota website, which will explain everything why I'm talking about getting lots of things to the website, because that is what is Wissota's tool to get in front of fans and to get in front of potential sponsors. Because currently, the only thing Wissota has to market is a sticker on a car, exclusivity to parts, or to people who sell stuff to racers. Because all the dirt comes out a week after racing events, so the news is a week old, and it's only got ads from companies that make stuff for racers. Because that's all. The subscriber base for all the dirt is primarily forced subscriptions through driver registration, and there's very few actual subscriptions. So what needs to happen, just like CNN, Wissota needs to put all of the news the tracks provide, along with what other people write, on the Wissota website, which drives traffic to the website. And but ultimately, Wissota needs to cater to the hardcore fan. Get the news on the website so people can read it in real time, so they don't have to wait a week, so everybody has access to it, not just a few people. And if you get a pile of people coming to the Wissota website, businesses will want to pay money to get in front of those people, get in front of those fans. But ultimately, going back to the fans, so you need to get the news on the website. You need to get the stats on the website. Renegotiate with SpeedNet and pull all those stats in. You need to create driver pages. Again, you have 2,500 driver profile pages that poured in the driver's stats and their win-loss records, and drivers can load up some images and their sponsors and that kind of thing. Again, that all drives traffic to the website. People should be able to go to the website and compare Buzzy Adams stats with Dave Kane stats, or whatever their racers are, and be able to go to the website and search their favorite driver and get all the news on that driver. Wissota needs to put all events on, all the Wissota events on the Wissota website, not just specials, but all of the events. Fans should be able to go to the website, be able to search, look up by date, what tracks are racing Wissota, what classes, when it's going on. I'd even create a fantasy league, because hardcore racing fans, when they're at one track, they're wanting to know what's going on at another track and how other drivers are doing. And currently, if you want to get Wissota news, if you're a fan, you got to go to Facebook, you got to go to Twitter, YouTube, you got to go everywhere except Wissota. And Wissota needs to get in front of that, because again, if you get a pile of people coming to the Wissota website, now even a business such as Cabela's or whoever it might happen to be might want to advertise with Wissota to get in front of those people. Because currently, there's no, if you're a business who doesn't sell racing parts, the only audience you can get in front of via Wissota are racers through all the dirt. Drivers, they need to do some things that make the driver's lives easier. Again, a profile page on the website that can links to social media and all of that. Fill out one driver profile form that's shared with all the tracks, so drivers don't have to fill out the same form at every track they race at. And again, news. The news on a driver, tracks submit news all the time, and again, if a driver's name is searched, it should come up under their profile to show all their news. Promoters, Wissota needed to do some things that help promoters. They need to teach promoters how to promote their tracks in the new age with social media and YouTube and on Facebook, for example, rather than doing an advertisement in a newspaper that goes out to the whole community, people who are and are not race fans, you can actually advertise your track or your event to a Facebook audience that just are people in a certain geographic area that like dirt track racing. And again, it's much more cheaper, much more effective. Wissota needs to, jumping on to the board. Currently, the board is, promoters elect the board, and the promoters have the power. They elect the board that doesn't really realize they have the power, who in turn hires a marketing director. And the marketing director doesn't really have any power other than carry out the wishes of the board, of which tends to be somewhat scared to act. And really how it should be set up is the promoter should elect a board. Let the board hire a president or marketing, whatever you want to call that head person, and let them run the organization. And that person's got to check in with the board. And of course, you can do it in these days. You don't even have to travel. You can do it with group videos. Very easy to do. And if they're meeting the goals and growing tracks and drivers and doing the things that the board sets out for the goals, if that person's doing it, you let them keep doing it. If they're not, you fire them and you hire someone else. The board should be composed up of people who have areas of expertise. Just because I might want to be on a board designed to help whatever, just having a desire to do something doesn't mean I'm the best candidate for the job. Wissota needs to have a board that has someone that is an expert in competition, someone who's an expert in marketing, someone who knows something about business, someone who knows something about money, finance, someone who knows something about general business, and then perhaps a few trustee board members that are just promoter kind of volunteers. And then that board hires the president or whatever you marketing or the general manager who runs Wissota and carries out the wishes of whatever the strategic plan is, which again, the strategic plan should be about doing things that cater to the hardcore, doing things that cater to fans, doing things that cater to drivers, and doing things that help promoters. Promoters need to look at the big picture of racing with Wissota, where one of the things that fans like is they like big events. It's kind of like, it's one thing to go see a local band at a local place, but people also like going to concerts, big concerts. And Wissota needs to have some big concerts, some big events, and the tracks need to support those. Wissota also needs to have some traveling series, whether they're mini ones or longer ones. But currently, a lot of drivers don't attend those because they'll lose track points. So the drivers need to give up a few nights for track points, so to speak, to support big events, because that helps racing as a whole. And fans love to see driver from this area race a driver from that area. I love going to an event where I get to see someone like Jason Grimes race against someone like Buzzy Adams, where you normally don't get to do that. And so again, fans like that. Competition. Wissota shouldn't make rules that puts them on an island. They shouldn't make rules that they can't police. I don't know a lot about making things competitive and that kind of thing, but there's people out there that do, and that do a really good job at it. And for example, don't make rules you can't police. The B mods, Midwest mods have a bar angle. Well, that can't really be policed. So people who know what they're doing have an advantage, and people who don't have a disadvantage. And again, it's something that's very difficult to police. So why have the rule? For A-mods, don't have rules that are going to put you on an island. Currently, the A-mod class isn't growing. It's dying I believe, because of it's a $20,000 motor that you can only race at 15 tracks. So what they need to do with the A-mods is one of two things. Either run it as an open motor, so that way someone who has that $20,000 motor can race it at USRA and USMTS and UMP, or slow that motor down So a more economical motor can still be competitive, whether it's a crate motor or whether it's a like the IMCA mod currently with the crate motor, and is that IMCA, of course, has more mods than sport mods, and the reason is that it's not a $20,000 motor, and so currently you really don't have a lot of Midwest mod drivers going to the A mod because it's such an expensive motor, $20,000 spec motor, that you can only race at 15 tracks. They should also do some rules that are progressive and rather than reactionary in nature. And again, one that I would suggest is doing quick change gears in Midwest mods. And you say, well, that'll make it unfair for someone who has a 9-inch. Someone who knows competition can figure out a way to manage that, where if someone had an optional quick change gear in that class, to make it fair, to make it balance out, so to speak. Again, I don't know what that solution is, but just like IMCA, for the IMCA mod and a Wissota mod, IMCA knows that, hey, if you put like a 7400 chip in a Wissota A mod and take off the spoiler, it makes for competitive racing against the IMCA mod. So again, someone smarter than me can figure it out. But point being is with the Wissota mods, that spec motor is just too expensive, I think, for this area, or open it up. Either go all the way, if you're going to have a $20,000 motor, might as well make it an open one rather than one that's limited to 15 tracks, or slow that motor down so it doesn't cost so much to build it. Ultimately, Wissota needs to do things that cater to fans big time, that cater to drivers and cater to promoters. And again, if you get a pile of people going to the Wissota website because they're reading the news, they're looking at their driver profiles, they're looking at driver stats because you're porting in the stats, and and you get a pile of people, now you have something to market to businesses besides a sticker on a car or exclusivity, because you're getting, Wissota is actually getting their message to the fans, which is where the population is, rather than only to the drivers. And jump ahead, the other thing Wissota needs to do is be very transparent. And what I mean by that is like the tires. There's all these rumors about tires. You got to put it out there. This is how much money we make from tires. This is what we spend the money on tires, rather than people speculate on it. And again, I know in IMCA, you can get an IMCA tire for like $100, and Wissota tires are like $120. So again, that's in IMCA. It's almost like buy one or buy three get one free. Wissota, the tire cost is very expensive, but again, Wissota makes money on those tires because they can't make money anywhere else other than selling exclusivity or more stickers on a car. But again, if you get a pile of people coming to the Wissota website, you're going to get businesses that will pay big money to be in front of those people. Anyway, I hope I said something that was helpful. And if you have any comments, you can comment below, or you can call me, or you can... Anyway, until next time, smile. Smile, smile.